Hello Rebels. Today I'm going to share a little bit some of my thoughts on self-awareness. So, self-awareness on its own is not enough. It's a good start. It's the first step actually to evolution of oneself. I see self-awareness as our instruction book. The same way we're doing laundry. We have to do laundry in that new technology washing machine, without the instruction book. What do you do? Well, you go by guessing. You just press the buttons until you find the program that suits you, okay? At the risk of doing some damage to the clothes, and after a while of misuse, you must probably do some kind of damage to the machine itself, to the washing machine itself. So it's helpful to have the instruction book. It makes other people's and our lives much easier. It is helpful to know everything there is to know about ourselves. For a big part of our lives, we expect others to know and understand more about ourselves than we do. We do that. He should have known that I feel like that. He should have known that I think like that. And I'm saying he because I'm a woman, so I'm talking about my husband, let's say, or my friend, she should have known better than treat me like that because she knows me for so many years and she knows it would have hurt me or whatever. Meanwhile, we don't know much about ourselves, so we expect others to know more about us. Instead of analyzing and dissecting our own moves and behavior, we focus on other people's behavior, giving more and more energy on the feeling growing in ourselves because of the person's behavior. Self-awareness will get you to the point where no one can be blamed for how we feel. And this is the point I want to get. I cannot blame anybody else for how I feel. There was a nice post that was saying, no one can make you inferior without your consent. It always comes down to that. So what better way to learn about ourselves than to observe our actions, our interactions, but most importantly, our reactions. Analyzing our feelings, situations we get in, behavior of others towards us, everything that goes on around us is to be taken in consideration. There is a reason. Sorry, I've written all that down, so I'm just reading it out. There is a reason the noisy family at the beach came to sit next to me and not that guy on the other side. There's always a reason. I will get back to that because I'm using a story on a family at the beach. So you're on a quiet beach with your respectful kids swimming, your husband searching for shells, your dog is lying in his nice little hole he's made. And you take out your book and make the most of this peace that is around you, this peace and quiet, As just a few couples at the beach and the sound of the waves. A perfect environment to get that book out that you wanted to read for so long, Till the moment the typical noisy, loud Greek family arrives. The man is loud, he's constantly telling in a loud voice to his kids what to do, what not to do, and obviously nothing, as you can imagine, nothing that concerns bothering other people. It's not like, oh, don't make too much noise. People are next to you. Or don't run across their towels or things like that. No. It's just like, don't swim too deep. Give your brother the shovel. Stop fighting. Things like that. The mother is trying to place a word without success. The man is in charge, that's obvious. It is a long beach, yet they come and sit right next to us. So reading a book now is out of the question. Even the sound of the waves, that has disappeared, suffocated by the chaotic noise. So I close my book and I start looking irritated. I simply observe them. It's dissection time. Who do the kids feel the need to irritate? Why do these kids feel the need to irritate each other? They hit each other on the head, they throw water at each other, take possession of certain toys and refuse to share. They go bother the dog and they pretend they are frightened after that. They shout, they scream. You can imagine the scenery. Why does the father pretend to discipline the children when in reality he teaches them nothing? He's just bossing them around. Why does the mother, who starts a sentence and is never allowed to finish it, and does not seem to be bothered, yet you can sense the resentment. You can sense that she resents the whole situation, okay? I fully enjoy dissecting the whole scene. I always use the word analyzing, but recently someone said that I was very good at dissecting other people's behavior. And I like the way it sounded, really. Partially, because I would have preferred if they had spotted the fact that I like to dissect in general. I'm not going to getting a kick out of dissecting people only. I get a kick about dissecting everything in general. Situations, people's behavior, which, when I say in general, would include myself. I dissect myself daily. Because my goal is to dissect myself for a better understanding of me. And sometimes that involves dissecting other people's behavior too, because through other people's behavior I can more easily say, oh, she handled that well. I have to get myself to that point. I really want to get myself to that point. Look at her. Go, girl, go, Or, God, what a terrible way to handle this, How did he go on about that, I don't want to do that. Do I do that? Have I done that? Oh, yes, I have been like that, and now I have to change that. Don't like it. Saw it in somebody else, didn't like it, don't want it in me either. Just out. So it's good to realize that some points, some reactions in other people's, you don't like them, and then first of all you have to think, don't want to be like that, what I'm going to do. Let's try and spot it, have I ever been like that? I have to change that. Anyway, so 2 years ago, in the same spot, same situation, I would have started talking loud to my husband, but for them to hear. Yeah, so I would have said, I know myself, I know how I was, I know how I became, and I know all the phases I've been through. And so about 2 years ago, I would have said things like, out loud to my husband, well, there goes our peace and quiet, all that for them to hear. Or And there I was afraid that we would bother somebody with our dog. Or the beach is long enough to fit all of us, yet there's always someone who comes right next to your space, in your space. So as you can tell, that was my passive-aggressive phase. Yeah, I went through that too. We all do. I believe we all do. We just have to accept it, that we've been through, and not everybody does, okay? The level of hypocrisy is disturbing when I remember myself like that, you know. Completely passive-aggressive. Yeah, back then, I thought I was handling it really well. I really did think, back then, I thought I was being how I should be. A year ago, now one level further, you know, learning about boundaries and all that, just a few steps up that hill, in the same spot, in the same situation, I would go to the guy and say, "Excuse me, sir, did you have to bring your chaotic environment right on the border of my towels? We came here to relax, and we did right to the point where you arrived to disturb us, you know, and disturbed us. Show some respect. Tell your children to be, you know, more respectful." Or I would have done that, and I would go as far as to say that I would even be proud of myself after that. Thinking, you know, I handled that in a very mature way, with self-confidence, and gave them peace of my mind directly to their face. You know, I'm now not passive-aggressive, I'm just, you know, going it straight. Showing them where my boundaries were, you know. God, man, I would even throw a look at my husband that would say, you know, "See, this is how things should be handled. We have to put our boundaries. Learn from the master," you know, because my husband is not a person like that at all. So, so I would say that, regardless of the fact that at that moment my husband was probably looking for a rock or stone to go and hide himself under, you know, because he would be totally embarrassed of my behavior. Anyway, so now I'm at the point where I observe and I dissect. Look for the spots I've missed, you know, what went unnoticed. What can I learn through the situations that can help me understand the root of my actions and reactions, so as to have a full control over them, because this is my goal. I want to have full control over my reactions. It's the only thing we can have control of. We cannot have control of anything else but our reactions, you know. We just need the will to do so. It's the will to want to control our reactions. And first of all, we need the will to want to spot them. That's another thing. And I hope the day will come that in the same spot, same situation, I will just put my book down, knowing that I am not to judge the family for being disrespectful, or because that would be my feeling, you know, they're just being themselves, or simply being who they are. Yeah. So even that, I'm still using the wrong word. Okay, I'm saying I hope the day will come that at the same spot, same situation, I will just put my book down, knowing that I am not to judge the family for being disrespectful. But I'm still at the point where I consider them and I judge them for being disrespectful. I used it, you know. I should have said, when I will be completely healed, I will be able to say, you know, I'm not going to judge this family. They are who they are. They are appreciating the beach just in a different way than I am, and so keeping in mind that the beach belongs to everybody, Kids are kids, and they will play, shout, scream, and the man is going to try and do his best in his own way, thinking he's doing his best, even if for me it's not his best, but still it's handling it in a different way than I would. So it's whatever I say about him, I'm judging him, you know. And if the space that I am in at that moment does not give me the calm that I need at that moment, well, there's a quiet little space further down the beach, you know, just take your towel and go there, my friend, I would tell myself. So everything is okay, everybody's okay, and we all do what we feel like doing. Then, when I will reach that level, I will not need to dissect that moment, or the situation, or the people, because I will know what I want, exactly what I want. I will know what bothers me, and I will know that I'm the only one responsible for taking myself where I want to be, and where I don't feel bothered anymore. It's as simple as that. This will be the full success of self-awareness to me. Thank you for listening.